coming at you. I got the fan on the heater, and so now my next task at hand is to figure out why this 460 motor in my Class C is running rough on idle. So it runs rough on idle. I mean, it shakes the whole truck when you're sitting at a traffic light and on it. RPMs are like at 2,000, and this just happened out of nowhere. So I was reading up on it, and it tells me that Ford has a valve that controls this air idle control valve. This is it right here. This is the old one. Okay, it's got a plug in, 2 screws hold it. Decided to change this out because it seemed electrical, because it just like happened periodically. One time it started it and it didn't work right. So I'm thinking that this is the culprit right here. I tried turning the idle screw down, which they tell you not to do, and that did nothing. So I'm thinking that the air mixture to gas is all screwed up and it's hanging open, and that's why it's running rough on idle, because there's too much air mixing with the gas. Alright, this valve, I had to take off all the air filter container, and also I had to take off these hoses. Okay, these hoses are the intake hoses for air and to the fuel injection, and they had to come off. Looking under here, I got my handy dandy light from Harbor Freight, which is magnetic. It works great. But there's the 2 holes, intake air holes, that those hoses came off of. And lo and behold, right below it, right on the intake manifold, this had to come off too. That's connected to those hoses. There it is. There's the culprit right on the manifold. Has 2 screws. Took the 2 screws off, and has a gasket. Put the gasket on, screwed it back in, plugged it back in, and now I got the task putting these 2 hoses on, which are unbelievable because the clamps are hard to get to. But that will be my project, putting it back together. Like I said, I don't have the facilities to do it step by step, but I figure if I show you and go through it, then you can pick it up. They do give you enough information to get the job done. So I'll put those 2 hoses back on. I hook this back in to the hose. The hose that is down here underneath these hoses. There's like a compartment there. And then that end connects to this side here. And this goes in over top of the engine. Now I did take the doghouse door off to give me more light in here, but my Harbor Freight light does a fine job. Just sitting there, and it lights up the whole area, so that works out great. So my eyesight ain't all that, so that really helps out to have light. But this is it. This is the job of the week, job of the month. Like I said, this Class C, I try to do some kind of maintenance every time we stop. But the mechanic that we had in Florida said these things drive down the road, and American roads aren't all that, so just going up and down aprons in and out of gas stations and all, the thing wobbles all over, clothes fall off the rack, so you know that electrical connections and all are going to get messed up. So you got to constantly be aware of that, be checking things, and we're going to try and resolve this today. Alright, like and subscribe all. I got the separate channel for the RV. So anything I do to the RV, any trips we take, I put on this camper couple. Leave your questions in the comments, like and subscribe. Camper couple, I'm out.